You want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about sports in the state of Michigan?
You can't handle the truth!
Well, we're giving you the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, the show that provides research and statistics about all the Detroit and Michigan sports teams, whether fans like it or not, and detects, exposes, and reveals actual and hidden facts and truth that the mainstream media doesn't want you to know. No junk, no entertainment, no homerism, no slappiness, no coddling, no pop culture, no conspiracy theories, no opinions, no shilling, and no fluff. Head over to our website, themichigansportstruthpodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter, Periscope, and Instagram at Michigan_Truth, and like and share our verified Facebook page, the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. Also listen to us on Spreaker, CastBox, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts via iTunes, and Spotify. The Michigan Sports Truth Podcast does not represent or defame any of the teams it covers, nor does it represent or compete against any mainstream media in the state of Michigan. It is also not for entertainment or debating purposes. It only detects, exposes, and reveals honest, actual, and hidden truth, facts, and statistics about them. And it is for every sports fan's own good because the truth is out there. And welcome to another episode of the independent edition of the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. I'm Taylor Phillips. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DT2Phillips. With new manager AJ Hinch at the helm, the Tigers have made some adjustments and improvements. To prove it, they have reached as high as third place in the American League Central Division thus far this season, except the division itself is still weak. They even came to as close as 7 games below the 500 mark before getting swept by the 4th-place Minnesota Twins at Target Field recently. I still doubt they'll even come close to making the MLB postseason because they still have more adjustments and improvements to make, such as their defense, which has made so many errors the first half of the season, including infielder and outfielder Nico Goodrum, who has made 8 officially recorded errors when he should have had at least 12. He cannot pick the ball cleanly. His hitting isn't that consistent either because he can't protect the strike zone the right way. He has a .220 batting average and a .637 on-base plus slugging percentage, which are not that good. If he doesn't get his act together anytime soon, which I doubt he ever will, then it may be his time to leave the Motor City for good. Otherwise, he may need to be sent back down to the minors. He has become Brandon Inge and Nick Castellanos combined. Their offense and bullpen have made a couple improvements but need more as well. Not to mention their starting pitching rotation. Spencer Turnbull may almost be out for the rest of the year after throwing a no-hitter in Seattle, but Casey Mize and Wiley Peralta have risen to the starting pitching ranks. Tarek Skubal has recorded more strikeouts per game, yet he still gives up a few runs per game as well. Jose Urena is evidently a bust, and him getting spanked on the mound every game shows it. A few bright spots are rookie Akil Baddoo, who at times has come through in the clutch in games, Jonathan Scope, who had caught on fire in June, and Eric Haas, who keeps producing and has an OPS of .830. His OPS in one span of time was over 1,000. And if you people are still wondering about Miguel Cabrera, his time in Major League Baseball may already be done, yet he is still under contract through 2023, plus he has a 2-year contract option through 2025 worth $30 million per year. Expensive long-term contract extension that Dave Dombrowski signed him to almost a decade back. So to sum it all up, it may take longer before the Tigers can become a contender again, but only if Al Avila gets his head screwed back on right for once in his tenure as their general manager. Otherwise, we would be calling for Chris Ilitch, their owner, to sell the organization and for Avila to be canned. The Lions hired Dan Campbell as their head coach, Brad Holmes as general manager, and Anthony Lynn as their offensive coordinator, and so on and so off. Plus, they picked Oregon offensive tackle Penei Sewell at 7th overall in the 2021 NFL Draft. He only allowed 1 sack in either his tenure in Oregon or in one season. Plus, he was one of the team captains of the Ducks. Dan Campbell may bring a very motivating culture, but how smart can he be in high-leverage situations when the game is on the line, such as 4th down conversions and clock management? Those are the areas of doubt, but we'll see what happens come the regular season, especially with new quarterback Jared Goff under center. The Red Wings had signed head coach Jeff Blashill to another 2-year extension, but fired one of their assistant coaches, Dan Byslma, and replaced him with former Colorado Avalanche player Alex Tanguay, who served as an assistant coach for the AHL's Iowa Wild. In Tangay's tenure at Iowa, The Wild had the fifth best power play unit at 21.7% in the 2019-20 season, scored 3.08 and 3.15 goals per game in each of both seasons, and recorded the second highest shot per game average, 32.68 combined in both seasons. This shows to be a total upgrade for the Red Wings power play unit especially. General Manager Steve Yzerman made a big steal with that one because the Avs themselves were hunting for Tanguay as well. Ouch for them. The question now is, what will the Wings do in free agency? What will they do with Darren Helm and Valtteri Filppula? Both those players' futures are uncertain, according to an article from Ansar Khan of MLive. Only time will tell. The Pistons hired former Michigan Wolverines men's basketball head coach John Beilein as Director of Player Development. And they won the NBA Draft Lottery. And projected top overall pick guard Cade Cunningham from Oklahoma State wants to play for them, assuring this top overall pick is a definite lock. Things are looking at least somewhat upward, but I feel they still have more work to do. At least that's progress as well. That's all I have for this short installment of the Independent Edition. Check out our show's website, the MichiganSportsTruthPodcast.com. Like its verified Facebook page of the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, and follow its Twitter, Periscope, and Instagram at Michigan_Truth. I'm Taylor Phillips signing off. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DT2Phillips. Thanks very much for listening, downloading, and sharing, and remember, the truth is out there.
ETFN, ta-ta for now.
The Michigan Sports Truth Podcast does not represent or defame any of the teams it covers, nor does it represent or compete against any mainstream media in the state of Michigan. It is also not for entertainment or debating purposes. It only detects, exposes, and reveals honest, actual, and hidden truth, facts, and statistics about them. And it is for every sports fan's own good because the truth is out there.
Do I make myself clear? Mission complete.